If you're a lover of fine footwear, when it comes to dressing your feet, nothing beats leather. Because unlike synthetic materials, leather lets your feet breathe. And high-end leather shoes are constructed in a way that makes them lightweight and comfortable to wear. The vision originates with a design sketched on a flexible plastic sheet. To help the stylist perfect the design, they put it on a rigid foot form called a last. Exotic skins have natural variations throughout, so a specialist must hand-cut the pattern pieces to ensure the right and left shoes match. A splitting machine is used to shave off a layer from the underside, equalizing the thickness of all the pieces. Then a skiving machine thins the edges, so the pieces will be easier to sew together. Decorative holes are punched into certain pieces with a manual press, so it's up to the operator to make sure the distance between the holes is consistent. The top of the shoe is called the upper. The upper pieces are sewn together, and the stitch is hammered to make the seams smooth and flat. A narrow leather strip is glued along the border of the upper to hide the leather's unfinished edge. This also produces a decorative trim. Now, a lining made of goat leather and flax is attached. This style of lining fits snugly over the last. This allows for a more comfortable type of insole. The lining is put inside the upper and then slipped onto the last. Then the insole is glued. This type consists of a rigid section, the black part, and a more flexible section, the white part. Now the lining is glued to the upper, and the front of the shoe, called the point, is put into a machine that grips the edge of the leather and pulls it straight. The next machine's mechanical fingers wrap the edge underneath and glue it, pulling evenly all around, so that everything's symmetrical. The following machine does the same thing at the back of the shoe. The edge is ground down, creating a flat, even surface that's ready for the sole. The leather is heated to make it malleable, and then hammered until the upper assumes the shape of the last inside. This will smoothen out any wrinkles. The underside is given a coat of glue and carefully positioned on the shoe's leather sole. The glue takes about 10 minutes to dry. The edge of the sole is then run through a splitting machine. This separates a thin layer, which is sewn to the upper. Durable twine and a heavy-duty loop stitch ensure the upper and sole remain inseparable. To hide the stitching, the edge is ground down and glued. Thorough polishing gives the sole a finished look. Every pair of shoes this factory produces is polished by a specialist who creates just the right shading to bring out the leather's best features. This is the last step of roughly 200 manual operations that go into producing just a single pair of these leather shoes. They truly have heart and soul. Hold on, those are my dancing shoes.